In today's episode, I'm going to teach you how to day trade using TradeStation. This episode will be a platform demo where I'm going to walk you through how I was able to create my layout and how I adjusted the visual appearance of different windows and even changed some of the system settings in order to optimize TradeStation for my day trading strategy. So as you watch me go through this, you're going to learn how to use the software and you're going to get a sense of whether or not TradeStation would be a good fit for your trading. At the end of this episode, I'm going to give TradeStation a raw score, comparing it with 11 other brokers that active traders like myself have to choose from. And I'm going to share with you whether or not I would use TradeStation for a small account challenge, or if I would consider using them as my primary account for day-to-day trading. My name is Ross Cameron. I'm a full-time trader, and I funded my first account back in 2001, more than 20 years ago. In 2017, I funded a small account challenge with less than $600, and I have since grown that account into more than $10 million of verified and independently audited trading profits. I share that with you not because I want you to assume my results are typical, but because I want you to understand that I'm in a unique vantage point to be able to tell you, after more than 2 decades of trading in the market, the type of software and the type of features that you really need in order to perform well. Because here's the deal, trading is difficult. Why make it harder on yourself by using poor performing, low quality, or unreliable software, right? It doesn't make sense, it's not worth it. So let's go ahead and jump into this episode. When we talk about TradeStation, I wanna start by saying that this is a platform that is tried and true. They've been around for a long time. In fact, I think it was in 1991 that they unveiled their electronic trading software. And so they were out there during the dot-com bubble, and they're not a broker that's just for your casual retail trader placing 1 or 2 trades maybe a month. They've really designed themselves to be for active traders in the market and institutional traders. Now, we are going to do a broker comparison on a number of different points that I think are critical to look at. But first, when you go to TradeStation.com, you have a choice of which platform you can use. And what we're going to be analyzing here and doing the platform demo on is their desktop trading software. So that's what I want to say at the very beginning. They do have a web platform. They also have a mobile platform, and I could do separate episodes for those, but this is really focusing on their desktop trading software. So one of the first things that you'll do once you open an account with TradeStation is you can, of course, download their desktop trading software, which is very easy to do from their website. And then when you log in, you can choose to log in either to live trading or simulated trading, which I love. So TradeStation makes it super easy to practice in a simulator, which is what I always encourage beginner traders to do. Because if you can't make money in a sim, you've got no business putting real money on the line. So TradeStation wants to encourage you to practice, and they gave you that option to log into the simulator right away. Now, when I first got logged in, this was my first kind of hiccup, is when I tried to get market data, it said data request failed, account not enabled for this data. Now, when I've seen a message like this at other broker dealers like Interactive Brokers or Webull, usually they have a link right here that says click here to enable market data. That would have saved me a lot of time, because what ended up happening is I had to go onto their website and I had to just try to figure out where to find the place to add level 2 market data. It shouldn't be this complicated, but it really took some time. So finally, I was able to get connected to market data, get the level 2 data turned on, and you do pay for it. It's a monthly charge. It was maybe $6, $10. It wasn't too expensive. In fact, if you go over to your profile on your dashboard, you can go to profile here, you click on that, you go down to manage account, and this is where you manage software and data subscription. So if you click on this, it'll open this window here where you can see your fees. So yeah, $11 a month. So it's not that expensive. But anyway, so that was needlessly complicated for me. Maybe it was just not intuitive to me. But anyways, that's something that probably could be smoothed out a little bit just by adding that little button right under the data, showing you click here to add your data. All right, so now the moment you've all been waiting for, this is TradeStation. All right. Now this looks pretty good. I like the look of it. Just to compare it quickly with a couple other platforms that I use, this right here is Lightspeed Trading. This is the broker that I use on a day-to-day basis. This is the one for me that I would say sets the standard of what I think is right now the best software for active trading. And you'll see that when we look at my, do the broker comparison here. And I'll tell you right now, look, guys, I don't have any affiliate relationship with TradeStation, with Lightspeed, with any broker. So what I'm sharing with you is just my honest opinion. It's not colored by the fact that I'll get paid if you sign up, one place or another. So it's just, what I think is the best. But anyway, so this is how I have my Lightspeed account set up. And in the top corner on the left, I've got my positions window. I've got active orders here. So if I place an order to buy this down here, the active order would sit there. I'll cancel it. And then these are my canceled and executed orders right here. And then this is a level 2 window, and an order entry window associated with each level 2 window. And then this is a big time in sales that is just linked to whatever stock is in focus. Now you'll notice when I'm using Lightspeed, I have no charts here. It doesn't mean I trade without charts. Of course I use charts. It's just that historically, so I learned to trade during a time, by the way, just as a tangent, when broker dealers like Ameritrade or E-Trade charged $10 per trade. And although some of them had developed a really nice trading software with decent charts, they were so expensive that if you were day trading, you took 10 trades in a day, 10 buy orders, 10 sell orders, you could have $200 in fees and commissions. Guys, that's $50,000 a year to your broker. That's crazy. So in those days, there were a lot of discount brokers that opened that catered to more active traders. And TradeStation was one of the less expensive ones. So those brokers tend to not have as sophisticated software. They don't spend millions and millions of dollars building like Thinkorswim type of software. And so what most of us ended up doing was using a third-party platform for charting and for stock scanning. And so I actually built this software here, DayTrade Dash, which is specifically for scanning, for charting, and then this has our chat rooms and my broadcast and everything at Warrior Trading. So I continue to use this for charting and scanning, and I don't rely on my broker for that stuff. So this is what my platform looks like here at Lightspeed. Now I'll minimize that. This is what my platform looks like with Dash Trader. This is a Dash Trader platform connected to Charles Schwab. So that's my Dash Trader, very similar. Level 2 window, time and sales, order entry window, and then positions in the top corner. We get rid of that, we'll pop up Interactive Brokers here. So that's my Interactive Brokers account. So they're all very similar, and for basically all of them, I don't use their charts. So now let's pull, and just for the sake of it, we'll throw Fidelity up there as well. So that's the Fidelity account, very similar. All right, so I usually say that if you know how to use one broker, you can switch to another. It's like driving a Honda or a Toyota. I mean, for the most part, if you could drive one, you could drive the other. Yeah, there's little nuances that are different, but for the most part, they're the same. Now, when it comes to broker dealers, I sort of rank broker dealers or put them in two groups. You've got commission-free brokers, and then you have brokers that charge a commission. Now, in this day and age, you'd be like, why pay a commission when you don't have to? They have free. Everyone should just use free. But remember, there is a difference here. The reason some are free is because they sell your order flow to institutional traders who essentially scalp your trade for a fraction of a penny, and you get a little bit of that in price improvement. The broker gets paid a little bit of that as a payment for the order flow, and then the institutional trader keeps some as a profit. So the result is that when orders go through payment for order flow, there can be a conflict of interest that the broker is incentivized just to make as much money as possible and not give you the best order execution in terms of speed or price. And so as part of payment for order flow, all brokers that engage in it are required to file disclosures where they state order execution and price improvement. And so here in Q3 of 2024, TradeStation says $10.6 million of price improvement. That's great. And they say their average order execution speed is 0.044 seconds, which is really fast. So if we pull up this broker comparison sheet right here, we're going to just look first at, let's see, we'll look at execution speed. Where was that? Oh, execution speed is right here on this column. So Lightspeed and other direct access brokers are fast, and these are them. But TradeStation right here at 0.044 is not slow. That's pretty darn quick. In terms of commission-free brokers, they're only beat by Fidelity. And although Fidelity is faster, their actual trading software is so poor, the only one that scored worse was Robinhood Legend. So TradeStation is very fast. And so let's just take a look. Let's just test an order. So here we've got TradeStation, and I'm just going to do a test order here to buy Ford, and this is where it's going to show up. So I'm going to press the buy button right now. Instant. I mean, that was so fast. I'm in 100 shares. I'm going to press the sell button right now. Gone. I mean, you can see how fast that goes in and out. I mean, that is a really fast execution. I'll do the same order here on Ford with Lightspeed, 250 in, 250 out. I do think Lightspeed's a little faster, but TradeStation's not slow. They're really not slow at all. And just for, why don't we just do the full comparison? We'll throw up Ford here on Charles Schwab. And this is going to be, the Charles Schwab platform is a little, this is not a platform that I absolutely love for trading, but we'll just click buy market, Ford. Oops, well, it doesn't matter. So buy market. So it goes through there, sell market. Let's see, sell market. Pretty fast, not bad, not bad. Interactive brokers, we'll pull this one up here. We'll do shift 1, pretty fast, 10 shares, back out pretty fast. Can't really complain. So, you could see, I mean, they feel comparable when you actually look at them and sort of time them out. You'll see that some are a little faster than others. Fidelity here, let's see, ask plus 10, place. So this one, we sit here and we're like, wait, oh, there it is. Wow. Okay. So that's a little bit of a wake-up call with Fidelity, right? That is slow, really slow. Okay, so that's not good, but TradeStation's pretty solid. Okay, so now let's talk about how I create this layout. So when you first log in, what I'm looking for is a layout where I can have my level 2 windows, right? I can have my time and sales, and then I threw the chart up just so it would be there. I mean, I don't really use it, and I could just get rid of it, but I just threw it there for right now. So if you click on the apps button here, this will give you this little drop down, auto hide, and you can hide it. So this will show you the different windows that you can pop out. So market depth is going to be level 2. Chart, time and sales. Where was the chart? Chart analysis is right here. So you can pop these out. And then this is your trade manager. And your trade manager has tabs. So orders, average price, positions. So I have one trade manager set to positions and one trade manager set to orders. And then down here, I have my news window. Now, as is typical with most platforms, you can link your windows together. So if you pop out a time and sales window and you want to link it together, you click on this little S in the top and you can link it. This is like a little design critique. I think this feels clumsy and sort of like an afterthought. It's such a big bubble up there. I like how Interactive Brokers makes it just this nice little linking right here. That feels much more subtle. It achieves the same thing. It's just like, it's a little more subtle. Look, no one's going to switch brokers for something like that, but just my 2 cents. Now, I don't know why there's all those minus orders right there. That's very unusual. What stock do we have up here? I don't know. Anyways, that was a little weird with Interactive Brokers. So we'll close that back down. Anyways, you can link your windows together like that. And then this window, the way I have the charts is, and I do this for the news feed as well, is I link it to the local listener. So what that means is that if I type in the S&P 500 here, it'll automatically update this to that. So this, I should do local listener as well, local listener, and then it updates to whatever is sort of in focus. So you can click on your level 2 and then just start typing and it'll update. I was a little confused at first because I was like, where do I click to get it to start updating? But that's how you do it. So then we switch this back to Ford. So see, these switch. The only thing is when you click here, it doesn't switch it back. It only switches it back if you change the symbol. So now you've got to enter the symbol again, and then you change to a different symbol and then back to this one. So it's not perfect for that. But as I said, if you're not going to use this for charting, then it doesn't really matter. So when I popped out my level 2 window right here, and by the way, I don't like, so this is a little kind of clumsy here, the way it's sort of like auto hides, and sometimes you click on it, it sort of pops down. It's sort of a pain, and you're like, God, go away. So I think there's a way to make it just stay hidden, but anyways, maybe send some feedback on that one. So when I first opened my market depth, I was, listen guys, I don't get insulted often, but when I saw this blue gradient, this was an insult to my eyes. I said, I can't possibly look at this for a moment longer. I need to change this immediately. This is not how I visualize level 2. I like to see level 2 data with each tier colored the way it is just above. So the way to change that is we can right click, we can go to settings right here. We then go to, let's see, window settings. So click on window, and then you can go down to color and style. And immediately we can start getting, go to levels, and now we can start changing this around. So now we can get this looking the way we like it. We like green on the top, and then we do the sort of salmon color, and you change it all. And then you can set it as your default. Boom, you're done. So I did that with one window, and then I learned you can go right click, copy, and then you can paste that window. You can paste the whole window and it copies all the settings over. So I thought that was pretty cool too. So now I know some of you guys, I've been hearing a lot of people that really like, and you guys are crazy, I don't know what you're thinking, but you really like the font Papyrus. So if you want to change your font here to Papyrus, you could do Papyrus 12 right here, and boom. If you want to teach Reiki and you also want to day trade, you can do that right here. Now, if you want to be a little bit more traditional about it and you want to leave it as Arial, that would be okay too. So you could switch it back to Arial. However, you get to change this as you'd like, and I think that's fantastic. It's as simple as that, but it's something that a lot of platforms, even in this day and age, don't allow you to do, which is crazy. So being able to adjust the settings, adjust the font size, etc., I think that's really important. Now, something that you can also do with this window is you can double click on a market maker, and then it keeps it highlighted in blue. I actually find that to be a little annoying, so I don't do it, but you can do it if you want to. Okay, so now we've got our level 2 kind of laid out. If we go to settings, we can also go to columns. We can go to, is it the detail pane? Let me just pull this back up. Yeah, and we can choose to select the ID, the ask, the size, and the time. So let's say you're like, I don't need to see the time. I already know what time it is. So take it off, get rid of it, boom. So now you get to see this a little bit more like that, and that's just fine. So you can kind of adjust this the way you like to have it. And this for me is pretty close to the way I have it on mine, so on my other platforms. So we'll go like that. And then again, once you have this set up the way you like, you could just do a copy, close that one, do a paste just like that. And then all you got to do is change your color linking to make sure it's linked with your other windows. All right. So now you've got your level 2 all configured. You want to take another trade. You can do order entry right down here. So I could say, 1,500 shares or 150 or 15, whatever. You click here, it's going to update the limit price. You click, it's going to update the limit price. Now, you can also change your route if you'd like, or you can do smart routing. Now, here's the thing that's kind of interesting, and I actually really like this with TradeStation. You could choose what you prefer. So let's go over to their TradeStation website, and let's go to pricing. It's a commission-free broker. So if you do their intelligent routing, it's free, totally free. But if you want to direct route this order, if you want to choose to say, you know what, it's pre-market, I really want to do direct routing, you could send it to Arca or to Edge or whatever the case is. So EdgeX, let's just send it to that. So I'm going to do a 15 share order, and I'm going to click buy right here. So let's see. So there we go. I'm in 15 shares. Now, remember, let's scroll over. That's going to cost me a little bit of money. The commission on that, 8 cents. Okay, it's 15 shares. Doesn't really matter. So let's go ahead and just, we'll turn around and we'll sell that. But let's just, go to 100 shares. So it's going to be a little easier to calculate the cost on it. And I'm going to click buy. So what is the cost per 100 shares? 50 cents. All right. So now you do 1,000 shares, it's $5, right? You do 10,000 shares, that's $50, $50. So that's not nothing. In fact, it's almost It's like 80% more than I pay for direct access routing at Lightspeed. So it's not nothing. It's actually a little expensive, if we're going to be honest. However, it's, look, it's an option, and it's nice that you have that option there. Now, I personally don't love the buy sell buttons being over here. You compare that to Dash Trader, buy and sell. That feels more intuitive. The coloring of those buttons feels more logical. Lightspeed, buy and sell, feels more logical. So I'm not a huge fan of that, but I could get used to it. Now, as I was editing this video, I realized some of you might be interested in learning more about my day trading strategy. So I've put together a small account worksheet PDF. I'm gonna put a link to it pinned to the top comment and in the description. You can click that link, you can download the PDF, and it's gonna walk you through the following. Number one, how I manage my risk. Risk management is super important in trading in general, and even more important when you're trading a smaller account. Number two, I'm going to share with you my stock selection criteria. I have 5 specific criteria that I use to help me understand whether or not a stock has the potential to make a big move or not. And then number 3, I'm going to walk you through my precise entries and exits. So if you want to learn more about my strategy, I encourage you to download the PDF and you can implement some of those tips and tricks in your own trading starting today. So, all right, now let's talk about those hotkeys. Well, maybe before we do, so we've got our level 2 window. Right here, we've gone through all of this. Now we have our time and sales window right here, which is pretty simple. There's not a lot to look at. I do keep the time on here as a column because remember, if a stock gets halted on a circuit breaker, it'll resume in exactly 5 minutes. So you need to see the time of the last quote to the second. And then if this halted right here, it would resume at 2:47 in 6 seconds, exactly 5 minutes later. So seeing the time is important at that moment, but then the rest of the time, it doesn't really matter. If we go in here, we can also go into the settings. We can go to window settings, and we can go into the color of orders. So above ask, at bid, below bid. And so you can sort of have these colored as well for the trades. I think that's fine. I don't have any, there's nothing I would really change about that. You're seeing right now a lot of orders that are going through between the spread. And between the spread is obviously a little bit bearish compared to being bright green or bright red. So like a stock like Ford, if I do my hotkey on this, so my orders probably went through between the spread. Because what did I fill? What was my execution? Now that was a free order because I did the smart routing. But Ford filled at 925,970. And the spread is 25 by 26. So if I turn around and sell it, it'll probably, go here. It'll probably sell, slightly between the spread. So that's fine. Anyways, orders that go between the spread are going to be gray or kind of right here in the middle. And then the charts, you can set them up as you'd like, but I don't love them. What I don't like is that I can't zoom the way I'm accustomed to, and I can't click and drag on the time axis to make it bigger. You can do this to make it bigger, but then you're kind of dealing with this stuff. But it is nice that your orders display here. But I do a lot of making my windows sort of bigger and smaller. I notice it usually when I use software like that because I'm like, oh, why is it so hard for me to kind of, zoom in and out? But I realize I actually spend a lot of time zooming and doing this, kind of like pointing and grabbing and kind of just getting it like exactly, just so I can see what I'm looking at. I don't know. I just find that to be helpful for me. So that's what I'm accustomed to. So anyways, personal preference, but it is what it is. And then on the positions window, here you could take away the columns. I mean, the column of position is important. You could adjust these as you'd like. This is how I adjusted mine. Symbol, position. So let's do it here, back in here. So long or short is what that is. Could probably take that column out if you wanted to move it over here. But this is basically the way I look at it when I'm trading. I like to see how many shares I'm holding, my average price, my open P&L, and then my closed P&L. And this is real money right now. So, I don't mind taking a couple trades, lose a couple bucks, doesn't matter. But, so anyways, so I have that there. And then down here are the trades I've taken. One thing that is important to me I need to be able to see zero positions. So some brokers, it's incredibly obnoxious, but when you close a position, let's see, are we still in this? No. But some brokers, when you close a position, they take it away. So you can't see it anymore. So now you're like, well, wait, what happened? How much am I up or down? And it's gone. It's gone. So you can't see it. So I just think that this is an area where they're catering to active traders, like you and I, who want to know, this is the stock I traded, and this is how much I'm up or down. Okay, so now let's talk about hotkeys. All right, so how to set up your hotkeys in TradeStation. So you can do this a couple ways. First, we're going to go to View, and you go to Shortcuts. I know the common phrase is hotkeys, but they call it shortcuts. And then you've got hotkeys and macros. This is a little confusing. So under hotkeys, you can see all the different hotkeys that are available based on category. So order entry macros. So buy, improve, buy, join, buy, shave. What in the world? First of all, if you're trying to tell me to shave, that's not going to happen. I've had this beard for more than 10 years. It's not going anywhere. So I get a little insulted. I'm a little sensitive to it. But all of a sudden, I'm like, what is this? So these are some of the standard ones they have. And if you click on it, it doesn't give you the chance to right click and understand exactly what it means. It just gives you the chance to script it to a key, which is not ideal. So I sort of felt confused about what these are. So we're going to close that. We're going to go to View, go to Shortcuts, and go to Macros. So now let's look at buy, shave. So place a limit order to buy 500 shares at inside the ask minus 1 cent. Oh, interesting. So instead of buying at the ask of $12.97, we're going to buy at $12.96, 1 cent inside the ask. Huh, that's interesting. Now, I don't find that to be the type of order that I've ever used, but okay. Buy, let's see, those are buy to cover. So that was buy, join. Buy, join. Place a limit order to buy at the inside bid. So at the inside bid. So that would be placing a buy order to buy on the bid. All right. Buy market. So this would be buy market order. All right. And then sell orders. We've got sell shave, which is to place the sell order, sell on the inside of the bid. So these are kind of funny. I don't really use any of them. So I was like, all right, well, you know what? I guess I got to create my own hotkey. All right, so let's go create. And let's do it together. So we're going to create a hotkey, order entry macro. We're going to go, this is going to be a macro that will not just customize and pre-fill an order. It's going to actually send the order. It's for equities, not futures or options. And we're going to go next. For the active symbol, that makes sense. And the quantity, okay, well, let's choose, sure, 100 shares. That's fine. So this is a buy order. So now we're going to go next. It's going to be the specified account. We're going to go next. You can click advanced. You get some more options here. It's going to be a buy order to buy, and we're going to buy at the ask. But you know what? We're going to do a little offset on this. We're going to do the ask. So let's see. So this is where I want to do an offset, and it's not letting me click the increment. That's a little funny. Why? It wants me to click improve. And if I do improve plus 5, it's going to be ask plus 5. That's not going to be logical, or that might not be common, what you would assume, but that's what it is. And then this I'm just going to leave unchanged. And then we go next. We go buy ask plus 5 cents. And then buy ask plus 5 cents, 100 shares. Next. Oh, doesn't want me to do the plus sign. So plus. There we go. All right. Don't display a confirmation window because that's going to throw me off. And please do not play a beep. That's the last thing I want. All right. So now we're going to say, okay. Now, well, wait a second. We didn't choose what key that's going to go on. So now you got to go over to hotkeys. You got to go down to that key you just made. What did we call it? Now you got to remember what you called it. Buy ask plus 5. And now we're going to set it to a hotkey of Shift B. And we're going to click assign. All right. Okay. Okay. And now you click Shift B and we're in 100 shares. All right. Cool. Shift B one more time and we're in 200 shares. All right, cool. Now how do we get out of this position? Uh-oh, we got to get out. So we got to create our sell keys. So let's go ahead back into your view, shortcuts, and macros. And what we're going to do is I'm going to actually edit this, and just so it's easier for me to find in the future, I'm going to change the name of it to Ross. Okay, so finish. So now we're going to create a new one, and this is going to be a sell hotkey. So we're going to do active symbol, and now how many shares do I want to sell? Well, I would like to use my position. Let's say bail out the whole thing. So let's just bail out of the whole position. Sell, and what are we going to do? It's going to be a sell order, and we're going to sell at the bid. But again, we want to, wait a second. So now improve, again, +5 is going to be an offset below the bid. So now sell bid -5. Even though it's plus, it's actually minus. Whole position. And wouldn't it be nice if you could put a space in there? And you can't, so just get used to it. So now we go to hotkey, we do this, and we're going to assign this to control C. We'll just put that there. Click assign. Yeah, we'll just assign it anyways. And then we'll do a quick position here on forward, shift 1, and then control C. So it works, but it's just not super intuitive. Most other platforms call it an offset, not improve, or, so anyways, just get used to it. But here is going to be my first big critique on this platform. My first big critique is that I want to create a hotkey to sell not my whole position, but to sell half my position. You can't do it. So you go over to Lightspeed, you go over to Webull, you go over to a lot of different platforms. You can create your custom order to sell half. So sell ask half. Here I can do quarter, half, 3/4 position, or full position. Okay. At Dash Trader, you can type in 0.33, or 0.71. You could do whatever odd position percentage you want. At Webull, you can do percentages as well. So over on Webull, you go to hotkeys, you go to settings, you go to trade, hotkey settings, and then you can start doing sell half, percentage, 52%. Doesn't matter, whatever you want, right? Who cares? It's whatever you want. So you can't do that at TradeStation. That to me is a problem, because one of the hotkeys that I really like using is sell half. So if I'm taking a trade on something and I buy 100 shares, and I buy 200, I buy 300, I buy 400, I buy 500, I want to sell half. So now I only have two choices. I can either do control, C to sell, well, you can put it on whatever key you want, but to sell 100 shares, or I could sell the full position. Those are the two options. I mean, you could choose to sell 200 shares or 300, but what if sometimes you trade penny stocks and you trade 10,000 shares, and sometimes you trade, $30 stocks and you're only trading 800 shares? A sell by percentage would be a game changer. Okay, so let's pull up our broker comparison sheet, because this is the first big issue for me on TradeStation. So we already said the execution speed is good, but unfortunately we cannot sell based on percentage right there. So that is a bummer. And we don't see halt resumption quotes. So or halt levels. So we can't tell what price this stock is going to get halted at. Right now it's trading at 1286, and it will halt, but we don't know, we can't see that. So here it'll halt at 1433. The LULD level, the red level, is showing where it'll halt. 1433 up, 1172 down. You can see it on Webull, you can see it here on Lightspeed. You can't see it on TradeStation. And when it's halted, you won't see a resumption quote either. So those are your two, from a functional perspective, these are the two biggest functional problems with TradeStation, in my opinion. And now one other thing that I'll add with TradeStation, and this, see, I'm a little nervous about doing this because it's going to cost me a little bit of money, but I'll do it. I'll just do a couple quick orders. So I'm going to do 2,500 shares of this. And the reason I'm going to do it is because I want you to see kind of how this order executes. So I'm going to click buy right here.
Order rejected.
So it rejected the order. Oh, it was a little bit too much money. So, because I've got 30,000 in the account. So we'll just do, let's see if we can find a cheaper stock. I want to do a little bit of a larger position. And the reason I want to do that is because I've noticed that some of these positions that are a little larger execute a little bit in a funny way. So KDLY, let's see what this one's looking like. All right, so KDLY, let's just try that. So we'll switch this to KDLY. So I'm going to put the order here to buy 2,500 shares. So I'm going to click buy right here. And that wasn't too bad. You kind of saw how it sort of like does like a little like, it sort of does it as like a slow sort of fill. Now I'm going to exit and watch it exit. So see how it kind of did that countdown? Sort of like, you know what I mean? You saw that, right? So let's go over to Lightspeed just for a second. So KNDY or KDNY, what was it? KDLY. So now I'll do the same order here. And just what you're gonna see is I'm gonna press it here and it fills instantly. 2,500 shares in, out, gone. 42 bucks. There we go. So just, it's so fast. Whereas here it feels like it's sort of, and then sort of does this like slowly filling. And if I did like 10,000 shares, it's even more. So that's the only thing I was a little bit like, see, I don't love that. Which just to me tells me that, you know, with bigger size, it might be a little harder maybe to move in and out of certain stocks. However, with smaller size, you know, 1,000, 2,000 shares, it's probably not going to be too noticeable or too much of an issue. You know, I really don't think so. So now let's look at TradeStation and kind of do this broker comparison. And let's go up to the top and let's reveal the score. So I'm going to give TradeStation a 5.5. I would trade there with real money. I could trade there with real money. The order execution is fast enough. It's commission free. You can also choose to do direct access routing, which is great, but it's not quite as fast as Lightspeed. And you don't have the ability to sell based on positions down here. So for me, realistically, Webull is going to be better software. Their execution speed is a little slower. You don't get as much price improvement, but the software is better. Charles Schwab with DAS Trader, that's going to be better for better software, and it's probably going to be a better experience for most people. Most people are probably going to prefer to do this versus this. TradeStation, let me tell you, these are things they could do to make it a 7.5. If they want to make it a 7.5, adding the ability to sell based on percentage and adding the ability to have halt levels, that would make it a 7.5. And you know what? I'll even move it up a little bit higher. I'll move it to, so here's the thing. You get good price improvement. That price improvement's pretty good. I'm going to move it up to a 6.5. It's pretty good. It really is pretty good, but it could be better. If I was going to choose between TradeStation or Thinkorswim, I would definitely use TradeStation. TradeStation versus E-Trade, definitely TradeStation. TradeStation versus Interactive Brokers, definitely would use TradeStation. Like, I definitely would. So it's good software. Now, you get 4 times leverage. They do enforce the PDT rule. So that's standard. So those, you know, this is kind of where it's at. They do offer paper trading. Minimum account size, it's sort of NA, not applicable. These retail brokers will let you do whatever. Short inventory, from what I understand, is not impressive, but that's not surprising with retail brokers. They are 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., which is better than others. Some don't start till 7 a.m., but others start at 4 a.m. The desktop experience, it's medium, but it's pretty close to being excellent if it was just for those last 2 features, these 2 right here. So they've got level 2, they've got the hotkeys, they've got the offsets. They're not logical how they name them, but it's okay. It's more industry titling, but retail traders don't understand it usually. Positions, they need to add that percentage of positions and then halt resumptions. They do have pegged orders. They do have some things you can do, but it's not super advanced. Charting, a little basic, but no big deal. They do have sub 1 minute time frames. They don't accept Canadians. Sorry, guys. International accounts, I believe they accept some, but this depends. A lot of the retail brokers are kind of like this. So it's, I wish it was a little bit easier, but it depends on what country you're from. But they've been around for a long time. You know, they've been, you know, they're not a new broker. They're well established. They've been They've been in the industry for a long time. Market data, $11 a month, could be higher depending on what you do. And then Forex, futures, crypto, some people are into that, not for me. And I have a retirement account there, so you could do the retirement account. So I would say that TradeStation's not a bad platform for trading real money, certainly with a small account. Wouldn't be bad for a medium-sized account. For a larger account, might have some orders with issues with execution speed. That could slow things down a little bit. So that's the only area where I might get a little bit like, we're kind of having a little issue. But overall, I would say this is a really good platform, and it's something that you could probably be really happy with. So I'd like to hear what you guys think of TradeStation. And if you have requests of other platforms that you'd like me to do a platform demo of or give my honest review of, please let me know. Just leave it down in the comments below. And I'll also put a link to an episode right here that I think you guys will enjoy if you want to check out more platform demos just like this. Thank you guys as always for tuning in, and I'll see you for the next upload real soon.